I got you.
All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good people. Once again, this is your man out music. I'm bringing to you a mastering template. Uh, with this particular template, you guys are going to need a few things to go and download on here, but I'll go through the actual template and exactly what's happening in the template and what's going on. First, I want to tackle a few things. Mastering only sounds good as the actual mix. So if the mix is trashy, your master probably is going to be trashy as well. All right. But nevertheless, even with that, you can fix those things as well. You can go back in and mix it down again to get the right levels and things of that nature. And then you can send it to mastering from that point. I do mastering myself um, here at the studio. So if you guys ever need mastering, please do check the link down at the bottom
What you say?
of the page, and you can email me, and we can go from there. But let's jump into this. The very first thing I have on here is a saturation knob, and once again, I'm showing you guys the easiest way to do this within reason. I don't use reason to master a lot, but I find that it's becoming effective. Certain things that you do can definitely be done within reason that they do in other DAWs as far as mastering. So I'm glad they came out with the VST um, connection with reason, which is allowing you to do certain things. So the very first thing I have is a saturation knob, which it's soft tube, and I added just a little bit, and then I have the MEQ. I have the pulverizer. I'm actually using a pulverizer uh, in this particular chain, almost like a compressor a little bit. Um, then I have the overtone GEQ, which you guys can actually download from Voxage and Go. And then I have the Malat. This is a like a almost like a master bus compressor that you can use. It's effective, definitely. And of course, the reverb with some of my own patches in there, a maximizer, and a limiter. Now, this is directly on the actual chain. Let me show you guys that. If you go up here, you see this. This is directly on the chain. And then as we go up, or I should say down, I have this little guy here. This is a Vox Go. Of course, this is a more or less a spectrum analyzer, so it can analyze what's going on in the actual track. So we'll get to that in a second. Mid-side mixing I have, and I'm going to tell you guys why I'm using that and show you. This little bad boy here. This is a compressor, a simple compressor, but very effective, and it's actually pretty good. It's by Klanghelm, if I'm pronouncing it right. Um, and I have two instances of that. One for the mid side, and then one for the side. Okay. Then of course the envelope to roll off some of that low end, a 2-band EQ, stereo imager, and a maximizer. Then I have the reference track, main track, and another maximizer. Loud Max, you can download that as well. And this. This is in the still in the beta testing stage. But YOULEAN, I think this guy's from might be from Germany or Russia. They created something similar to what they have in Waves. I do have Waves, but I wanted to use this and use the other plugins as well to show you guys that you can also get nice masters literally just with using free plugins or plugins that you actually already have within your DAW. So this actually does similar to Waves. I think it's the WLM Plus. It does similar to what that does. It gives you a short-term range. It gives you a loudness range, an integrated range, right? And it shows you the monetary peaks of how your song is peaking and how it does in the short term. And then also you have the true peak place. So let's just we're gonna do a A/B testing of some of these things so you guys can actually see. Let me flip on the back of here so you can actually see what's going on. I know you guys like that. We're going to start with the mid side mixing, because I think that is very important that you guys understand what you're doing to the stereo feel of the actual track. We're dealing with the mid and we're dealing with the side. So you can almost look at this almost like a low and high side, if I can say that. And basically what this does is this is splitting the actual signal going into the actual mixer and coming back and feeding back into the mixer. So what we have here is I have a combinator that I created this in, and you guys actually will have this. You just have to make sure that you download the plugins in order to run it effectively. But what is happening is I'm coming out of the combinator into the Anansi router. Then I'm taking the pass through of that signal and I'm going into a mono check. Okay, I'm going into the beat channel, a mono check of that signal that's coming in to the router. So what I did was I added a compressor, and you can use any compressors to actually do this, but I'm using these particular ones because I think they're cool. They're cool looking and sound pretty decent as well. So what I do is I come out of the mid side going into the left channel, and I'm returning from the left channel back into the mid side. And I do the same thing with the side. So this is the mid channel. This is the side channel. Okay. And then I take that and I'm going from the out of this into the full mono check. Okay. And I'm coming out and splitting that signal. Okay. The reason for doing that is I get to actually A and B both sides of the actual channel and see how that's going. Okay. Then I'm coming back into the actual combinator. And I'm doing that because I'm feeding that signal. Now check this out. I talk about rolling off the lows, right? And I talk about using the actual what do you call it? The actual control room. Okay. Now notice I don't even have it plugged into the control room because I don't need to. I'm running that directly into the inserts. Okay. But it's keyed into the side chain. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the filter I'm running the filter into a channel in the splitter. Okay? I'm going out of that filter into a parametric EQ. Or I should say parametric EQ. I'm sorry. And then I'm coming out of that, right? Going into a stereo imager, and the stereo imager into the maximizer. And I'm taking the maximizer, right? And I'm going into this. And basically this particular spectrum basically is analyzing my signal to the control room. Okay? This loudness meter is analyzing the overall loudness of the track completely. Okay? Now I have a song up by an artist, Morgan Cheyenne. I'm just gonna do the instrumental. I'm not gonna do the vocals. So you guys can actually see what's going on. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it ride so you can hear what's going on. Okay, this is without the mid-side processing. Loud. See it feeding into these things, okay? But I want to control what's happening, so I turn it on. Big difference. And look, that's the side channel. What's happening? This is the middle, basically. And you can mix these. Right? Explain to you what this is. This is just the mid that you're hearing now. And you can turn that off so you hear nothing. This is the side. You won't hear no middle. All you hear is side. Right? Turn it both on. This is my mono check for the A, what I just explained to you. Turn it off. You don't hear anything. Right? Because what is happening is you're cutting that signal chain. You flick it back on. It's on. B just basically brings both channels together. So this is off. This is the stereo field on. Okay. Output is on as well. This is full mono range. G is the splitter. Okay. So this is on. This H is running the actual control room. So if I control, let me pull a mix up so you can see. If I take this off, remember I told you the control room is this, and on these things. So if I take the control room off, won't see it feeding anything. So stuff is happening even though you technically can't really hear it, but it's happening and you gotta know how to adjust those. So I turn it on. Big difference. Here's your short term and long term and true peaks. So I'm peaking at negative 0.3 decibels, which is what I wanted to do for the track. And of course, if you add the vocals on it, all that stuff. Okay. much to explain here. You guys will probably have to read up on this because he did some interesting things with this loudness meter. If you put the cursor over it, you can actually see what's going on in real time as well. Pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to do too much explaining with that. I was just basically showing you guys this so that you guys can see the actual template and what's happening in the template. I think you guys should download it and check it out, play with it, mess with it a little bit, and definitely get some understanding of what's happening in there. It's some interesting things, and it's kind of interesting how I plug some of these things in to the actual track. But I think it'd be very useful for those guys that actually just want to get something out there nice and clean, get it out there loud, and present it to the world. So once again, this is ODDMANOUTMUSIC. Peace out, one love, ODDMANOUTMUSIC. I'm out.